we have the infamous Menace Friedman constantly telling the world that God needs them instead of we need God. Not just ending off with that distorted understanding that he has, but concluding with the fact that since God needs people, according to him and his distorted logic, therefore he cannot punish them. Hence the reason why he says in multiple videos of his that after 2,000 years of Jewish exile, and how God pretty much spoke to us once in Mount Sinai and never again, he owes us an apology, and therefore he cannot punish anybody. Removing one of the 13 principles of faith. And if anybody even questions him about, well, what about punishment? What is Gehenna? Oh, it's just when the soul is so used to being a body, it doesn't know how to be a soul. So it just gets an adjustment period for the soul to know how it is to be a body. It almost sounds like the guy went into a cold environment and he didn't know what to do until somebody gave him a jacket. Almost sounds like a place you want to go to. Removing the words of the sages in the Gemara, removing the words of the sages in the Zohar Kadosh, removing the words of the Chachamim from Chassidut, removing the words of the Rishonim and the Achronim that they actually said, even in Halacha, talking about judgment, talking about the details of Gehenom, removing all of that, uprooting all of that, and literally misleading the public in such an open fashion, with such zeal and arrogance, his listeners swear it's true. When he was recently questioned that about how could God need us? He needs the mitzvahs? The Santa Claus says God is a mitzvah. God is a mitzvah? Wait, so you're telling me that God is the Shiur Torah? God is Netilat Yadayim? God is when someone is procreating with his wife? God is somebody making a blessing on eating? That's your God? Obviously, that if that's the God that you believe in, then certainly he needs you, because he doesn't exist without you. Our God is not our mitzvahs. And no one in the world of Judaism has ever said such a stupid thing. But yet, he says it with such audacity, such arrogance, you'd swear it's true. In fact, he even has the audacity to say in a video he was questioned recently in the 18th minute approximately, that no one, and in essence, he is going across the entire globe of a Torah. You're talking about from a time of the written Torah itself, the oral Torah, the Zohar, the Mishnah, the Sifri, the Sifra, you have the Halachic books, the Geonim, the Achronim, the Rishonim, the Amoraim, literally everything out there, Chassidut, Baal Shem Tov, everybody. No one, apparently according to him, has ever said that God doesn't need us. In so many words, saying that everyone agrees that God needs us. But yet, when he's asked, can you provide a source, one source, that says God needs you, or needs anything? He says, I'm not going to bring a source. It's ridiculous that anybody would even ask me for a source. Do you know why he doesn't bring a source? Because unlike what he said multiple times and openly recently, there is no source. It simply doesn't exist. The lie just continued growing to the point where he literally dug himself his own grave in a video that he publicized, saying that no one ever said that God doesn't need you. No one. What about the dozens of sources that were brought in a dozen shurim that Rabbi Ephraim and I have made, that Rabbi Zachi has made, from the Gemara, from Onkelos, from the Zohar, from the Torah itself, The 5 books of Moses. What about that? All of that is nothing. And yet, people continue to watch him, continue to defend him, and he continues to poison more and more people's minds with his lies. I even had a young bachur, guy that had a good ashkafa, good head on his shoulders, learned for many years, fell for the trap recently. And he says to me, listen, Rabbi, I know that he's a kofar and he says things that are against the Torah, but you know that some things that he says are true. So maybe we could take the truth and just discount the lies as if such a thing is permissible. It's like saying, I know that the water has some poison in it, but maybe if I just drink with leaning to the side, I will just get the good water, the clean water, and the poisonous water will stay behind. The Gemara in Masechet Moed Katan says clearly, if your rabbi does not have the midot of a malach, meaning the midah of emet, if he's not true to the Torah, if he does not change the Torah and distort it, if he is a liar, you cannot listen to him. You cannot